So now in previous lecture, we have just started this numerical. Now in this numerical, you can see what is actually given. The following reciprocal levels were taken with one level. Determine the true difference in elevation between point A and point B. Second thing, the reduced level of point B. And the error in the collimation adjustment of the level. Now in exam, you may get such type of small numerical. Actually, this numerical is for the 6 mark, but in exam, you may get the multiple choice questions based on the small formulas. Okay. So one table is given, and in that table, as this is the numerical of reciprocal leveling, you are having the 2 points, that is the station point A and station point B. Now you are taking the reciprocal leveling, reading at A and reading at B. At, at both points, you are taking the readings. So when your instrument is at A and your reading is at point A, how it will be? Such like that, this is your one instrument, this is station point A, and this is your station point B. So, so these are the two instruments, means one instrument is there and it is shifted at point B. Now at first point, you are taking the reading at this point A, means your staff is at this point. This is your staff. And again, you are shifting your staff here. So now you are going to take the readings at these 2 points. Means this is the example of the reciprocal leveling. Your staff is at A and staff is at B. Now when your staff is at A, you are also taking the reading at A, and when your staff is at B, you are also taking the reading at B also and as well as A also. Okay. So you have taken these two readings. When your staff is at A and instrument is also at A, your reading is 1.884. The reading on other side is 2.896. Now you have changed the location. You have changed the location of the instrument. Then you will get the inverse readings. The first reading will be when your instrument is at B and reading is also at B, you will get the 1.894 this reading. And while instrument is at B, your reading at opposite end, that is A, will be 0.537. Okay. So this is the main scenario. This numerical is given to you. Now, how you are going to solve it? The distance between point A and point B is given as 900 meter. Now this distance between these 2 points is 900 meter. Okay. And the reduced level of point A is 300 meter. Now reduced level means the reading from the MSL. This reading from the 0 point is 300 meter. 300 meter is reading for your RL of A. Now, which things you are going to find? The RL of B you need to find, as well as the true difference in elevation between point A and B, which is the first thing you are going to find. Reduced level of point B, this is the second thing you are going to find. And third thing, the error in the collimation adjustment of the level. These are the three things that you are going to find to solve this numerical. Now we will try to solve the first thing. We will try to get the first thing. So what is the basic method to solve this type of numerical? The first step is the true difference in elevation of A and B that you are going to find. So first what you will do, you will subtract these two readings, first at the station A and second at the station B. Now get all these things carefully. You are subtracting 2.896. You are getting the subtraction of 2.896 minus 1.884. Which are these two readings? These are the two readings when the instrument is at station A. This is the initial thing. Okay. After that, what you are going to get, the difference between the readings at station B. 2.8 minus 1.8, this is the difference at station A, and 1.8 minus 0.5 will be the difference at station B in next step, right? Here you can see this 1.894 minus 0.537. This is the difference at this station B. Here you can see this station B difference as at the second step. In first step, we have calculated the 1.884 means 2.896 minus 1.884. This is the difference at station A. And in next step, we are going to calculate it for station B. 1.894 minus 0.537. This is the readings at station B. Means readings taken when the instrument is at station B. Okay. Now you got this point. Two differences you have taken. The first difference comes out to be here 1.012 meter for the first set of reading, and for second set of reading the difference is 1.357. You can note it down here. Now for these two differences you need to take the average of these two values, mean of these two values. Now how you will take the mean? Addition of these two values divided by 2. Okay. So 1.012 plus 1.357. These two values you can get it here. 1.012 difference at station A, 1.357 difference at station B. Now again you are going to take the average of these two values, which comes out to be 1.1845. And that value will be the fall from point A to point B. Means there is the decrease in the elevation level. Okay, you are moving from point A to point E. This is 1.1845 will be the fall from point A to B. Now your RL of A is given, which is 300 meter. You can see in this image, I have drawn this image for you. 300 meter is the RL of A. Now you will subtract this 1.1845 from this 300 and you will get the RL of point B, right? So in next step, we are going to do this exactly same 300 minus 1.1845 so that you will get the RL of point B, that is 298.8155. Now you got this point. Now in third step, which is the most important step, you are going to calculate the error in collimation, right? Because the earth is a curvature, having a curvature. So you are having the error of curvature also and refraction also. What is meant by the refraction? When the light rays are passing horizontally, they get refracted and the slight error you will get in the reading. So that is known as the refraction. And what is the curvature? The curve part of the slight curvature of the earth is nothing but the curvature. So these two errors are there, error for the curvature and error for the refraction. Now you will get the one formula to calculate the error of this curvature and refraction, and that formula is 0.0673 multiplied by the distance in kilometer square of that distance. Now the distance between point A and B is 900 meter. So as the distance increases, your error also increases. It is directly proportional to the square of the distance between two station points. As your distance will increase, your curvature will also increase and your refraction will also increase. So you will get the more difference in the reading, means more error in the reading. So to calculate that error, the basic formula is 0.0673 multiplied by the distance between these 2 points in kilometer and square of that value. So 900 meter is given. So convert the meter into kilometer. 900 divided by 1000 will give you the distance in kilometer. That will be 0.9 kilometer. So square of 0.9. So this value will not change. 0.0673 will be the value which is the constant value which will not change. This will remain same in the all formulas. 0.0673 multiplied by 0.9 square will give you the error of the curvature as well as refraction. Now what you are going to do, you are going from A to B. Now the reading at A will be given as reading at A is 1.884. Okay. And the fall value means the fall value is 1.1845. So to get the reading or the difference of elevation, you will add these two values. Already the height is there, which is the staff reading at A. You can see here 1.884. This is the staff reading at A plus your fall, whatever the fall you have given. Now these two things will add means 1.884 plus your 1.1845, which is the fall. You can see here in this next image. Okay. So 1.884, the staff reading at this point A plus your fall will give you the reading of B and plus your error of refraction and your error of curvature. That error just previously we have found, and that error by using the formula 0.0673 into kilometer square, that value comes out to be 0.0545. Okay, so adding these three values, reading at A plus fall at A to B plus your error of curvature and refraction, adding these three values will give you the final value, which is 3.0685. You can see in this image. First you have added the fall into the reading of A. Now after adding the your error for curvature and refraction, that is 0.0545, you will get the final value, that is 3.123 will be your actual staff reading at point B. Now I hope that you got this numerical. You can listen to this, you watch this video again and again, so that you will understand how this numerical is solved. And again, one more next numerical is given, similar numerical is there. You can also solve it at as a practice purpose by your own. The following readings were observed during a reciprocal leveling with one level. Same numerical is there, only the values are different. Station A, station B, two readings are given, one table is given, distance between the 2 points in earlier numerical that was 900 meter, in this next numerical it is 1200 meter, means 1.2 kilometer. And the RL of point B you have to find if the RL of A is 625.6 meter. Earlier it was given in previous numerical it was 300 meter, in next numerical it is 625 meter. Okay, the combined correction due to curvature and refraction, that is also you have to find by using the formula 0.0673 into kilometer square. Okay, means 0.0673 multiplied by kilometer square. What is the kilometer? 1.2 kilometer is the difference between the 2 points, means 0.0673 multiplied by 1.2 square will give you the second value, that is the combined correction due to curvature and refraction. Okay, this thing can also be asked in multiple choice question for 1 mark, 2 mark. The error in the collimation adjustment of the instrument, that is the third thing you have to find. So you can solve this numerical in the same manner we have solved the previous numerical. Okay, so you take it, you take this numerical for your practice purpose. Okay, now after solving this numerical, getting this numerical, what we are going to do, we are going to see our next topic. Okay, so previously we have seen the tachometry, right? We have seen the tachometry. In tachometry, what happens, there are two types of methods. One is the fixed hair method and one is the your Stadia method. Now, this topic is different from the what previous numerical that we have solved. Okay. Now, I will explain you this topic. In telescope, you are having the fixed here. You can see this as A dash B dash in this image. Okay. Now, you are observing this staff, which is at point Q, and your instrument is at point P. You are observing this staff at Q. Okay. Now, in telescope, through this telescope, your rays are there. Rays will bisect at the point A and point B. So the distance between this point A and point B here, you can see in this image, this is your capital S. Okay. Now the rays, where they are going to intersect with each other from the your end point of the telescope, this distance is your small f, and the remaining distance is small d. Okay. And the distance between the focal point to your end of telescope is small c, and the distance small f plus small c will be your capital C. Okay. So this is the differentiation of all these points, and the final thing is the distance between P and Q, that is your instrument and staff. This reading is your capital D. So this is the explanation of this diagram. Now in tachometry, how you are going to calculate the horizontal distance by using one formula, and that formula is your distance x is equal to, I'm going to write this formula here, f upon I, small f divided by small I, multiplied by s, which is the distance between this point A and B, as we have told you. Okay. Plus small f plus small c. So this is the formula used in the tachometry. This is the basic formula. Now after again this formula can be modified, but you will get the numerical based on this formula in your exam. So the distance is equal to f by I into s plus whole bracket plus f plus c. So this is the formula. Recently, just 5 minutes before, we have solved one numerical. One numerical we have given for the practice, and now by using this formula also we can solve the numerical. Okay. Now this is the another method in tachometry, that is the movable hair method. Now in movable hair method, you can have the angle included here, that is the angle theta, and you can measure the inclined distances. And from that inclined distance, you can measure the horizontal distance, that is the capital H here in this case. Your capital D here, you can have a look at this capital D. Your capital D is the inclined distance and horizontal distance is H. Here you can have this H is the horizontal distance and your D is the inclined distance. Okay, so this is the movable hair method. So again the same diagram is shown here, and you will get the same formula shown here also, that is your f by I into s or s by I into f, both are the same thing, plus f plus c. Okay, here c is replaced by small d. Here in this formula, small c is replaced by small d. So therefore only such slight change is there, otherwise the formula is same. Okay. Now the interval between the stadia hairs means these are present in the your telescope, is given by I. And staff intercept, as already I have told you, this is your S is the staff intercept, means point between the A and distance between A and B held at the vertical staff. Okay. Now the F by I is the constant K, which is known as the multiplying constant or stadia interval factor, and the constant F plus small d, or in our formula we have written is that F plus small c is equal to capital C, and that capital C is known as the additive constant of the tachometer, right? So this is all about the tachometry, and you can solve the simple numerical based on the tachometry by using this formula. Horizontal distance is equal to F by I into S, bracket complete, plus F plus C, small f plus small c, that is the additive constant. Now the next topic is we are going to see one numerical based on the your tachometry also. Now the next topic is contouring. What is mean by this contouring? So contouring in surveying is the determination of elevation of various points on the ground and fixing these points of the same horizontal positions in the contour map. Now, what is the contour line? Definition of contour line, they can ask you in exam such small definition also. The line joining the points of equal elevation is known as the contour line. Line joining the points of equal elevation is known as the contour line. You remember this definition. Line joining the points of equal elevation is known as the contour line. Now, if these contour lines are increasing towards the center, then it will represent a hilly area they will represent, such like this. This is your hill, right? And if you are going towards center and if the contour lines are decreasing, means their elevation is decreasing, then it will represent a valley. So a hill and valley. This is hill and this is valley, right? Now here the differentiation of the various directions such as the north, south, east, west, these are the radial lines. You can see it here. These are the radial lines, and the curvature or circular lines are nothing but the contour lines. Now in this image you can see the elevation is decreasing as you are going towards center, hence it represents a valley, not the hill. And the two methods are there for the contour surveying. One is the direct method and second one is indirect method. Now you can see the nodal points. What are the nodal points? Nodal points are the points of intersection of your radial lines with contour lines. Okay. So these are the nodal points, and nodal points, each nodal point is having certain elevations, such as here you can see the outer elevation is 95, then 96, 94, 92, 90. So you can have this as a valley portion. Now contour lines represents the contour maps on larger scale. and there are various uses of this contour maps. On your Google map, you don't have this contour maps, means they don't represent the elevation of the altitude elevation, or the contour lines are not given there, but you may get certain lines in the terrain map, but there also you you will not get the elevation. Okay, so therefore for elevation purpose the separate maps are prepared, and that maps are called as the contour maps. So these are the certain characteristics of these contour maps. So the contour line will have the same elevation of all the points on that contour line. This is the main characteristic. And the contour lines will be parallel to each other, and no two contour lines will intersect each other. This is again one more characteristic of the contour line, and you may get a multiple choice question based on this point. That is, the two contour lines will never intersect each other. Why they will never intersect? Because they are representing the different elevation, therefore they will not intersect. Two elevations cannot intersect each other, therefore two contour lines can never intersect each other. So these are the various uses of the contour maps. You can have it have here various uses. The routes of the railways, roadways, canals, or civil line can be decided so as to minimize and balance the earthwork. Means earthwork means the excavation. How much excavation you are going to require for the before the commencement of construction. That amount of excavation or volume of excavation can be decided based on the contour lines, means elevation of the various areas or levels, and that levels you will get from the contour lines. Now the next topic is the curves. Now this topic is also included in your transportation engineering subject also. Curves. So curves are the regular bends provided in the lines of communication like roads, roadways, railways, etc. So there are different types of curves. That is the horizontal curves, right? There are two types of curves, horizontal curves and vertical curves. Okay. Vertical curves are the summit curves, valley curves. These are the vertical curves. And what are the horizontal curves? Horizontal curves is the simple curve, compound curve, and your transition curve. These are the various curves. As well as some other types are also there, such as the your reverse curve, then deviation curve. So we will see the various types of curves. Spiral curves is also there. Then vertical curves. So the first type is simple curve. A simple curve consists of a single arc of a circle connecting the two straight lines, as you can see in this image. Compound curve consists of the two or more simple curves combined together, having the different radius, right? And if your compound curve is in reverse direction, then that curve is called as the reverse curve. Then deviation curve is there, fourth type. A deviation curve is simply a combination of two reverse curves. It is used when it becomes necessary to deviate from a given straight path in order to avoid intervening obstructions such as bend of river or building etc. So in different means opposite directions, when two reverse curves are combined together, then you will get a deviation curve. Okay. After that, simple curve you have seen, then compound curve, reverse curve. After that, the spiral curves is there. Spiral curve, its shape is a spiral shape. That's why it is known as the spiral curve. But one more characteristic of spiral curve is there, that its radius is always changing. Its radius will vary in case of the spiral curve. Now after that, vertical curves are there. Just before we have seen the horizontal curve, now this is the vertical curve. So you know the what is the grade and what is the slope. Grade and slope represent the vertical elevation. Okay. So on the vertical curves, high point and low points are there. So summit curve is there and valley curve is there. Two types of vertical curves can be there. Summit curve and valley curve. This can be the two types of the your vertical curves. Now after that, what are the construction survey and SBPS? So construction survey means before the commencement of construction, the preliminary survey that you require, or before the construction, whatever the various types of surveys you require, that is the construction surveys. And what is the SBPS? Space based positioning system, such like the GPS, that is global positioning system. Now a construction survey is used to establish or mark the desired position of building corners, roads, sidewalks, utilities that the engineer has designed. Particular attention is made to ensure the buildings does not encroach or overlap into or over the designated setbacks, easements or property line. These points are then stacked out onto the actual property to indicate the location of the improvement. Generally flagged or painted lath, stakes or rebar is used. Rebars are used. Now this is one of the preliminary thing. As I have told you, these type of surveys are done with the help of the auto level or your theodolite or the most advanced instrument, that is the toto station. Now these are the certain terminologies used, such as the cut and fill, right? You know what is the cut and what is the fill. When the grade is there, when when you excavate, then the cut will form, and when you pour the material, then it is called as the fill, right? So whenever there is certain what you can say convex shape is there, and you have to do the leveling, then you need to cut this thing, right? Means you need to excavate this thing, so you will call it as a cut. And if the concave shape is there and you need to level this surface, then you will do the filling into this surface. So this is known as the fill. Now, what are the preliminary surveys? Such as the plot plan is there, that is the site layout is there, building and improvement layout. These are the specific plans required to before the construction, or simply you can term it as a site layout. Now, after that, one more term is there in your syllabus, that is the space-based positioning system, that is the SBPS. Positioning of any object on the surface of the earth can be determined by the SBPS. SBPS receivers determine the position of any object existing on the surface of earth by trial alteration of microwave signals from satellite moving in the orbit of the earth at an altitude of 20,000 kilometers. So there are certain satellites moving in the space, and based on that satellite, if certain receiver is placed on the earth, then the space will exactly determine the latitude and longitude of that particular point through which the signals are received. So that type of surveying can be done with the help of the space-based positioning system, that is simply by the help of the satellite. So definition of SBPS is, that is the space-based positioning system, is a fast and accurate method of determining the location of any point of the internet anywhere on the face of earth of any time during the day or night. So this is the SBPS, that is the space-based positioning system. So it has been developed from our long search for resolving the location related problems. So there are location related problems, and therefore the SBPS has been developed to give the accurate results. So this is how this system works, that is the SBPS. It is shown diagrammatically here. You can see in this image the satellite is there in the space, and the receiver points are there on the ground antenna is there, master control station is there, and through these points you can see the signals are sent to the satellite, and after that they calculate the areas or latitude longitudes for that points. So these are the applications of the SBPS.